and I think it might be injector time. Like, there's so many valleys on my forehead. I'm like, whoa.
Or you could just grow a beard and wear a hat. Like, either one works.
I need to do something. A hat, a paper bag, anything.
Save that for sex, It's
My husband loves me. How dare you? I'm like 85% sure my husband's still attracted to me.
Me and my buddy, we making all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never catching us slacking. Me and my buddy.
All right, guys, welcome back to Table One Podcast. Co-host Art Parman. I'm on it today, guys. I really am. Co-host Justin Young, and very special guest today is Caitlin Comeskey. I got it right.
Nailed it. Oh my God.
Comeskey.
You retained information for 30 seconds. I'm so proud of you.
Sorry, guys. That was a really tough intro for me. We were just talking about the last couple of days where Table One got to take over Venetian and run our stream game. And you're looking at probably the two biggest losers of the thing.
I won a little bit the first day.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't even know why we run like stream games if we're the only ones going to lose.
I don't know. The YouTube dollars are rolling in.
I think you're really living your make poker fun again mission, though, for everybody else at the table. That's really honorable of you.
Thank you.
It's a very socialist program. Like, we have too much fun, so like we make sure other people have fun.
Yeah, it's redistribution of wealth more than anything. You're communists.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't have made our mission statement, fun over funds. I think we need some funds.
We really did when we made this brand or whatever. Our mission statement was like, we're going to value having fun more than we are worrying about every dollar.
But if we're about making poker fun again, then our guest today, you are about making poker funny again, because
really good lead in.
That was so smooth. Oh my gosh.
Wow. All right.
You're ruining it.
That's a great compliment.
But yeah. I mean, I've been following you since, I don't know, May 2022 when you had that big breakout video, the Jack 4 deal or whatever. And I don't know, it's cool to meet you. Cool to have you on. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. I got to meet Justin last year when we played on No Gamble, No Future.
Which was a blast, by the way. I was telling Art, like, I was so intimidated because, like, I knew how funny you were. I knew how funny Stapes was. And I'm just like, I'm usually the funny one. Like, am I going to be able to say any words? And, like, just you guys were gracious comedians. And I'm just, like, allowing me to, like, make a joke here and there and laughing. Even
I think
though
we might have been
funny.
A little bit too funny on that stream because they couldn't use a lot of the footage. I think we only got, like,
true.
one episode out of it. Like, RIP, those 8 hours of play.
That is true. Shoot, that's right. I was thinking we could maybe, like, kind of clip in some of the stuff from there, but.
Did you watch our episode?
I did. Yes, I did.
How did I do? I never go back and watch live streams.
Oh, you did good. Well,
it gives me the biggest cringe to watch myself on camera. Like in performance stuff and sketches that like I'm editing, obviously, I look at my face a lot. But when it's like somebody else editing it and color correcting it and like I have no control over it, both creatively and then also I'm like playing poker and like being myself in front of other people publicly. I can't.
So were you more nervous about the your actual poker play or nervous about like your table presence?
My behavior.
Okay. All right.
Always my behavior.
Well, in that case, I thought you passed with flying colors. I honestly thought everyone kind of crushed it in their own individual way, to be fair.
Well, like the cash game player of me took over on that episode because we had Jimmy, who was like the super fun, like recreational player who wanted to like have drinks and party and like be like really roasty. And I was like the old cash game player, cash game host in me came out and I was like, I'm matching his energy. He's the most important person at the table. We got to like yes and him.
Dude, that is tough to do. Jimmy D is Jimmy D.
Oh,
Jimmy D.
Jimmy D.
Yeah, that's an impossible energy to match. But yeah, at least he didn't crawl on the table. I don't think that episode,
no,
which he has done, and I'm pretty sure he's done multiple types of drugs during the streams where there's like you can't have your pipe on the table. Please put that away. Like we're gonna have to edit this out.
This is a ketamine-free zone. Go to the bathroom.
So I'm sure you've seen most of our episodes and we do appreciate it. But in case you haven't, what we normally do is we kind of take the viewership back to like when you were tiny Caitlin, a cat. I don't know. No, that sounds derogatory. Okay. And kind of how you got into gambling. And I don't know which came first, if it was like gambling, poker, or like stand-up comedy, but kind of which came first and like did one feed into the other one or whatever. But yeah, tell me about your childhood a little bit. Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Dallas, Texas, Plano, so like north area of Texas. I went to a religious school, like Christian fundamentalist, like Baptist, kindergarten through senior year with like the same group of people. But my home life wasn't religious. Like we very rarely went to church. We never prayed at meals. Like, so it was, what do the kids say? 6, 7? I don't know.
That's not how you use it.
That wasn't the context.
Well, no one knows what it means. She could be spot on.
I thought it'd be like, comme ci, comme ça.
So what was the purpose of getting you in a religious school then? Your parents, was it more
I think
safe or, I don't know.
The way my parents tell it is they were living in like a bad school district at the time when my brother was like kindergarten age. And that was the best private school they could get him into at the time. I don't think they could get him into St. Mark's, which is like this boys' school. I don't know if you have to be like a legacy or like, I don't know, huge new money or old money or whatever. But they couldn't get him into any of the other private schools, but they got him into this Trinity Christian Academy in Addison. Shout out.
So how was, and sorry if this is too personal, but like how was the religion part of your life then kind of growing up? If like, I'm not saying a lot of religious schools kind of like ram it down your throat, but like it's very apparent like at those, but like you come home and it's nowhere to be found almost. Like
it was definitely odd. And I went through ebbs and flows with it when I like drank the Kool-Aid and didn't. I'd say most of the time I was very like devil's advocate and very like questioning and like what like that kid in the group. Towards my senior year, I started to drink the Kool-Aid a little bit and get more into it to the point where I arrived in New York City as a freshman at NYU, like listening to Rush Limbaugh and Mark Levin and reading my Bible and teaching Sunday school. And I went through like a very religious Caitlin phase for 2 or 3 years. But then I was in acting school and like around all different types of people. And I was like, actually, that's lame as hell. You're right.
So how'd you get from Dallas to New York City? I mean...
I was a really good student. I had really good grades and I got in early admittance to NYU. I auditioned for a bunch of programs. I wanted musical theater at the time. I always sang and did musical theater summer camp were some of the happiest memories of my childhood. And NYU was just simply the best program I got into. I chose to go there.
That's highly impressive. Did your parents support the whole way? I know it's kind of like a gamble to get into any kind of theater arts of any kind where they just, this is what she wants to do. Can't wait for her.
They did. Shout out to my parents, Jim and Ellen. They were supportive of me and whatever I wanted to pursue from day one. My first like children's theater classes was when I was 4 years old at the Dallas Children's Theater. I did community theater while I was in school. I did the Christmas plays and I would like miss school to do performances and did acting training with Catherine Hart in high school and then was like a theater girl in musical theater summer camp. And they were always very supportive. They were so proud of me when I got into NYU. They were so happy to send me there and be supportive of that.
Do you remember what your audition tape, I don't know if that's the right way, but like what you sent into NYU to like kind of like
Oh, I remember. So it was an in-person audition.
Oh,
and they asked, so I went
scary,
to New York
right?
and I auditioned for a bunch of different schools. I auditioned for Juilliard. And that was like my dream to go to Juilliard. But they accept like, I think 16 acting students a year and they get 5,000 auditions, 35 to 4,000 of which are probably like 18-year-old white girls with brown hair. So, and they're like putting together a company, so they need different types of people. So I was drawing pretty dead with Juilliard. But when I auditioned for NYU, I did 2 monologues. I did a Harper monologue from Angels in America, who's like this pilled out housewife or whatever. And then the other monologue I chose, I was just like rifling through plays that I had bought. Do you know the play Doubt?
Nope.
So Doubt is this. So they made it into a movie with Amy Adams and Meryl Streep.
Oh,
it's
okay.
4-person play. They're 2 nuns, a priest, and then the mother of this character. And it's about like a priest that was inappropriate with this young kid. And then the mom has a monologue where she basically goes to the nuns. The nun's trying to like crack open the story. And basically the mom goes to the nun and is like, yo, like, can you just shut up for a little bit? Like my son's about like, he's in a good school, like he's doing well. I understand this is, I mean, I'm totally paraphrasing. It's like beautifully written by, I think it's John Patrick Shanley. That might be wrong. But yeah, and I didn't realize that the character was supposed to be a minority because it's like an underprivileged kid. And that's like a huge part of the, play and why she wants the nun to, anyway. So I like went in and did that monologue. And that's probably what got me in.
Did you do the same monologue for Juilliard or was it a different audition test?
I did a monologue from Antigone, which is a Greek tragedy for Juilliard. And I remember after I did my Antigone monologue, one of the audition panelists was like, oh, so you really like to play characters, don't you? And I was like, okay, shade.
Good read,
Does that mean
though.
I was like hamming it up? So you didn't believe me at all. Okay, cool.
All right, if you're watching this podcast, that means you like listening to our voice. Or maybe you don't. I bet you didn't know that in Card Player magazine, every 2 weeks, they put our faces in there, but more importantly, they put a crazy story or two from our episodes into the magazine. So if you haven't seen that, you can actually go to table1.vegas/cardplayer, and it'll have a list of every single story that they've put from our show into their magazine. So you can watch it, or rather not watch it. You can relive the story without having to hear my voice. You know, I've been told I've got a face for radio and a voice for magazines. So, you know, don't really know what that means, but here we are. So if you want to see more stories, crazy ones, relive them from our show, the best ones are right here in Card Player. So go to cardplayer.com directly, click on the magazines link, and you can read them there. Or, like I said, table1.vegas/cardplayer has all direct links to the stories they've done about our show, about our guests. Yeah, check it out. I think you'll like it. All right, back to the show.
So I feel like you're young enough. I can ask this. How old are you?
36.
Okay.
But I look 27, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't have asked if I knew you're 36.
No, I'm like filming so much content over the last month. I've done like 3 stops in a row. So I've been seeing my face a lot, and I think it might be injector time. Like there's so many valleys on my forehead. I'm like, whoa.
Or you could just grow a beard and wear a hat. Like either one works.
I need to do something. A hat, a paper bag, anything.
Save that for sex. It's
My husband loves me. How dare you? I'm like 85% sure my husband's still attracted to me.
Completely joking. All right. So did you graduate from NYU?
I did.
Was there a concentration, or was it? I'm sorry, excuse my ignorance.
No worries. I had a BFA in acting, so I was a conservatory student. We were in like studio 3 days a week, doing things like dance, yoga, character scene study, stage combat, like all the traditional conservatory training. And then I was a political science minor because I told you religious Caitlin showed up very politically activated. And I like had all these, like super it's NYU. So it's like super left-wing professors. And I was like the girl that would sit front row center and be like, so I'm an originalist about the Constitution. And Mark Levin says, and because I was just like a dissenting opinion, they just like loved having me for the sake of like starting discussions and stuff. So my professors all loved me, even though they probably thought I was very
dumb. Probably not that, but you sparked conversation, which is probably what they wanted to kind of get into anyway.
Yeah.
So along that journey, right after high school for you, or right after high school, you're in high school during the Moneymaker boom. 36. What am I? 38. So you're 2 years younger than me. Basically, what I'm asking is, when did poker come along for you? Because you must have had interest in it at some point.
Yeah, my dad taught me how to play super young. I was like 10 or 11. And then sort of the chip on my shoulder I got about poker wasn't legal in Texas back then. I was watching the ESPN episodes on poker with my dad and my brother. I have an older brother. And my dad started taking my brother to underground games when he was still in high school. And like, my brother was always so cool. He was like the jock. He's on the basketball team. He dated like older girls in high school. And I was not that. I was like the theater girl at an altie. And so I always was annoyed that my dad was willing to take my brother and not me. So I developed this chip on my shoulder about it. When I became of age, like 21, I played home games with my actor friends when we all moved out to LA together. And then the first club I ever started playing in like recreationally regularly was the Hustler when I was living on the west side of Los Angeles. And I would go play the Hustler. And then when I was touring as a comedian in Burlesque host, which is what I did after college, I would always play on my days off. And I'm sure I was a losing player overall, but I didn't even really track it. And I didn't start winning and taking it seriously until 2018 when I moved back to Texas and they had like legal open card rooms. The games were super soft and I had a lot of luck right away making money. And that's when I quit my job in a hotel and started focusing on that.
Okay, a lot to.
I'm sorry.
That's great. That's amazing. So, what kind of poker was it? Just Hold'em mainly, or
no limit Hold'em? I've just learned mixed games this year, but before that, it was always just no limit.
So, when you moved out to LA area, was it like what was the goal? What was the plan?
Oh, I wanted to be like an A-list actress. Of course, I wanted to be the next Jessica Chastain.
Okay, so it was movie based. You weren't like trying to. Obviously, there are very few plays out in LA or whatever.
Yeah,
but
when I was at NYU, I didn't join an improv team or a comedy troupe. Like I took myself very, very seriously as a dramatic actress and poured my whole heart into my training. And I did really well. I was like a star student within my acting conservatory. But when I got to LA, the feedback I started to get as I graduated was, your type is like a 40-year-old woman and you're not going to get work as a young person. Like you have to age into your type. Which is just like so hard to hear as a girl who's like 22 and wants to.
You're going to be successful. Just wait 20 years.
And I think it's something a lot of young women get when they're going through that process. And it's a bummer I did, but yeah, they were right. I had a really hard time booking work in my early 20s as an actress, and it's a really hard culture. You're like paying to do casting director workshops to audition for people, and finally, the feedback you keep getting is like, if you want to make it in LA, you have to make your own content. You have to make your own work, So I started making YouTube videos, little sketches here and there. I started really early, probably like 2012 was when I started first making content and experimenting with short form video and things like that.
So yeah, what kind of content, excuse me, was it? Like when you were, was it comedy based or was it like?
Yeah. It definitely was. Around this time is when I started doing stand-up. And I remember the first short form video I ever made was called The Vegaholic. I basically played like a super drunk person, just like shoving fistfuls of spinach into my mouth while my husband's like, please stop. I'm like, leave me alone. You don't know how much potassium I'm getting right now.
I like that, by the way. Did you end up booking anything of note?
So one of the coolest things I probably booked was I was like featured background in an Elijah Wood short film. He was playing, funny enough, a stand-up comedian, and he ends up like bringing Alia Shawkat on stage, his girlfriend, and I think he proposed to her or something. And but anyway, my part was like, he was like doing crowd work and he like points to a young couple in the front and it was like me and, another guy.
All right.
But I remember Elijah Wood was super, super cool. We had a lot of downtime on set and he's a cigarette smoker. I was a cigarette smoker at the time. And I remember I had cigarettes on me, but I like asked to bum a cigarette so I could have a conversation with Elijah Wood.
So cool.
Yeah.
That is actually kind of cool.
Yeah. All right, guys, going to take a quick break to promote Phenom Poker. A lot of special things are happening. They've added double board bomb pots. Sit and Goes is now a thing, so come join us. In addition to those two additions, you can get 150% on a $2K deposit, which means you can get up to $3K free money right in your account.
That's right. And if you're on there, the token has dipped a little bit, but you can't buy the dip with this token. You have to play the dip. So get in there and run it up. And, 40 cents to 4, down to 3 something, up to the moon.
Probably the moon. Diamond hands, guys.
It won't moon
Hold
without you.
Those tokens.
Audle. All right. Back to the show.
All right. So when you were playing the Hustler during this time, I mean, a struggling actress, like it's got to be pretty tough anyway, money wise. Were you just kind of scrounging together like $20, $40 to go play $1,
yeah, I was
$2?
playing 1-3. I'd show up with $300, and if I lost it, I went home, kind of a thing. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have like any other acting friends? I feel like that seems like it should be like an easy bridge for like poker players and actors to like, kind of like meet to want to play poker. But like for some reason, I feel like this never happens. I don't know. I
wasn't plugged in. I wish like I had met Joe Stapleton or Beth Hall or something back then, and I could have been playing their home games. But no, I mostly played it at the Hustler, and I'd go to Hawaiian Gardens occasionally and bike, Commerce. But my favorite was always the Hustler. I don't know why. I guess I just liked the purple and yellow vibes, the aesthetics of it. I'm very shallow.
So you mentioned your husband. Did you meet him out there, or was this later on?
I met him in Texas playing cash poker in Killeen. There's some really fun games up in Killeen. Back then, our late friend Kai had a card club in Killeen, and I met him playing 5-10 quarter. And he's a recreational player. He's in sales. He just plays on the side, but. Yeah, he was in a relationship back then. He wasn't really on my radar as a romantic interest. And more recently, we became friends and then went on our first date and just had an immediate connection, and we're really into each other. And
Poker just making love, making love possible. That's nice.
Yeah, we banged, y'all. I don't want to brag, but I do bang my husband.
Go ahead, Art. I need a second.
Sorry.
No, that's all right. I guess while we're on the topic, traveling burlesque host, is that what you said?
Yes. I worked with a brand called Pinups on Tour, and we put on burlesque shows, and we mostly did military venues. Our show was free for veterans and military to attend. So it was like an Americana, like USO, but, saucier, a little bit, more edgy.
USO. Yeah.
So I'd like open the set with like a welcome comedy song that I wrote, and then do like 10 minutes of stand up. And I was all the stage time in between the performers, right? We had a small cast, so there'd be like a lot of downtime. So I got to learn how to do crowd work and get so much more time as a stand up than I would have if I was just grinding open mics in LA. So that was super cool. And then when I went back to LA, I would get to host shows at like Flappers and Burbank and West Side Comedy Theater in Santa Monica, and had a little luck there.
How'd you get into that initially? Did you audition to be the comedy relief for this stuff, or
for the burlesque shows?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I met one of my closest friends, Julia, who did burlesque at the time, doing like a terrible Shakespeare production in downtown Los Angeles. It was a Midsummer Night's Dream set in India. And I was one of the fairies, and I was very thin and very fit at the time. So I was just like, stage ornaments. I would like be in a dancer pose for like 10 minutes while Titania is like arguing on stage.
And then I guess you guys just went together into when this
Yeah,
one
so
opened?
they always needed comedians during burlesque shows. And so my friend who was a burlesque performer was like, hey, she knew I was like trying stand up and doing open mics and different clubs. And she was like, hey, you want to come do a burlesque show? And then as I started doing comedy during burlesque shows, I remember when I first went to burlesque shows, I was like, really like, oh my God, these girls are taking their clothes off. I mean, like my background, I was just like very aghast. But over time, it all of a sudden became like, hey, do you want to like try it out? And I was like up there on a wig. Welcome to the stage, Missy Farquhar. And she's like singing a song. So that's how that came about when my friend Julia formed her own troupe and decided to put on her producer hat. She was like, do you want to host these shows? And started going on the road with her. And again, it was so much stage time, which was invaluable to me at the time. So
do you remember your opening song? And would you like to perform it?
I do. I have 2 of them, and I have every word memorized. I perform them probably like 6 times a week for, 2 years.
Her smile lights up the screen, and she know how to make that green. I think that's why we all love Julia Roberts. She's a loving mom of 3. She has her own production company. I think that's why we all love Julia Roberts.
For your show too.
But don't call her a bitch, or she'll Aaron Brockovich or ask goodbye.
All right, Justin, take off your shirt.
I am thinking about I don't know if you know Brian Devonshire, Devo, like older school like poker player or whatever, but like he lives like in bumfuck Colorado right now, and like they do a burlesque show once a month, and it's just a bunch of like mountain guys or whatever, and like mountain girls just being free and happy or whatever. But either way, like he sends me videos all the time. It sounds like a
What was
fun
so
thing.
great is we get to go to like communities that don't get a lot of like huge live acts, because we're going to like AMVETS posts and VFWs, so we would get people that were like really excited to see live entertainment. They don't have Shane Gillis or Jerry Seinfeld or like huge bands coming through. So, a fun burlesque show, they're really down and excited about the content. And it was my job to like make everyone feel comfortable enough to hoot and holler and be, because a burlesque show, like you got to be cheering the whole time. You need to be a very activated audience member. So
that does lead me. I was going to bring this up a little later when we go further into your comedy career or whatever, but like, I got to know some of the worst heckling or the worst like audiences you ever had. I'm sure they have to stick out. I don't know. I feel like they would for me.
There were a lot of shows that were really well attended. There were sometimes you'd feel like a rock star where you'd go into like a packed bar full of like a concert venue full of like 200 people, and you in Boise, Idaho, and you're like, I'm a really big deal. But then sometimes you'd be in like, Fargo, North Dakota at an AMVETS post performing for 9 people in like a dining hall with like fluorescent lights on. And it's just like, oof, this is rough. And I remember one time I mixed up my friend, her stage name is Dixie Mae Rebel, but I accidentally introduced her as Kitty Cat DeMille, which is another girl in our troupe. And Dixie got so mad at me, and we got into a screaming match backstage during intermission. That's probably what
killing my brand.
the roughest one. I'm like, there are 9 freaking North Dakotans out there. Can you take a chill pill?
All right, Dixie, calm down.
I'm like, they're all too drunk to even remember this anyway. You think they're following you on Instagram right now? No, they don't have a phone.
The Yelp reviews are pouring in. So what got you back to Texas then? Like,
went through a really bad breakup.
Okay.
I was engaged to be married in 2017, and we had planned this whole huge wedding, and then we broke up like, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks after we sent the save the dates. So I know. So it was like really hard for me, and I went through a really, really hard time for like the next year and a half, and moved back to Texas to be around my family and trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. Do I want to move back to Los Angeles? Do I want to give up on entertainment? And I was working in a hotel just trying to figure it out. And that's when I started playing in the Texas poker clubs.
Because you were so soft. Like,
Texas poker was very soft back then.
Yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of people that have moved to Texas to play a lot of these open games and stuff. And it's like a lot more established now. But in 2018, the clubs had only been around for like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 years. So
yeah.
I remember when they started opening, and like all the good smart dealers from Vegas would move down to all these opening card houses, and they're making a killing. I mean, so are the people playing there. The early movers did really well, I think.
No, it's still weird for me when I go to cash games and people will like ask for a chop to tip the dealer on a $5. I'm like, no, it's $5 a hand. What are you doing?
Come on, Nit. Damn.
Exactly.
So where were you? Were you back near where your parents were and stuff like that? Or where were you playing?
Austin. I moved back to Austin. Right. That's where my parents were. My brother went to UT. So the whole family was kind of congregated in Austin at that time.
All right. So you played at the Lodge then?
Yeah. I was actually a Texas card house girly first.
I gotcha.
Because back then the Lodge was just like an old refurbished Blockbuster, and it was slightly further away from where I lived.
Yeah, it was in like Round Rock or something like that.
It's really north, and then it's east, and you got anyway. So I was at Texas Card House, and that was closer to where I worked, the hotel at the time. So I was a Texas Card House girly, and then they opened the founder of Texas Poker. Really, we call him the White Knight of Texas Poker. Sam Von Kennel opened when he sold Texas Poker to Texas Card House. Then he opened a smaller club, just like an 8-table room. It was called Palm Social at the time. And so they were struggling to get games going. So I went to work for them, cash organizing. So nice. I had a whole phase of my poker career at the beginning where I was a cash game organizer for 2-5 games, 2-3 times a week. And I redid their website and their social media and helped them launch their stream and stuff. So that was probably like my first year in poker before I started the content journey.
We need a cash game organizer. That's
it's such a hard job. I dropped once like that club sold and I moved into content, like I never touched it again. Yeah. And people have asked me like, would you ever? And I don't know. It's such a hard gig and it's such a thankless job. Oh my gosh. And then you have to
and we lose money too while we do it.
No, tell me about it, guys.
Most people are supposed to like, oh, well, at least we'll get the game going and we'll win off that and then we'll get the fruits of our labor. Yep. Anyway.
No, sometimes it's a dream. Sometimes it's like, you're either in Texas, I guess you're like paying without an hourly or you're getting like a little bit of a kickback from the game. And then you're also making money in the game and it's like a huge windfall. And then sometimes it's like, I did all the work to make this game happen and I just lost, this huge amount.
Yeah. I think you're preaching to the choir.
I mean, not to like dig the knife in any further or anything.
Right. I have all afternoon to live with myself in my head right now. Okay.
Did y'all do cash game organizing before the table one? Am I allowed to ask questions?
Yeah,
by the way, this is like a dialogue, right? Did y'all do cash game organizing before the table one journey, or is this sort of?
We did. We've gone through this a little bit, especially in the early episodes where it was just Art and I or whatever. Mm-hmm. But there was 4 really good friends that started one during COVID, essentially. And we went from Aria, and then we went to Bellagio, and had a very successful private game. But with 4 people, it's tough. I'm not gonna, name names or situations or anything. But a lot of
a rough breakup as well.
So, long story short, they went behind her back and they axed us out of the partnership. It took me probably a good year and a half, I think, to kind of get over it. Actually, I'm not over it. But like before, like we decided to do our own brand or whatever. Because Art wanted to, I think, right away. And I was just like, I can't emotionally do this right now. Like I'm going through some stuff. And finally, like we got to the point where we called it pushing the red button. And as soon as I texted Art, I think there was a fallout of something else that happened. I'm not going to go into that story, but I was just texting Art and was like, we're pushing the red button. Let's fucking go. And yeah. Long story short,
uphill battle to even get where we're at now. But I think we're smooth sailing, kind of.
Yeah.
At least the game runs. We just had the Venetian live stream, which was fun, and hopefully we'll do more of those. Maybe we'll go down to your neck of the woods and play at the lodge or something.
Yeah,
bring a game out there.
I'm sure they'd love to have.
No, seriously, yeah. Like,
love to be there.
I feel like we mentioned a Doug Polk as well, but like anywhere in there, I just think it would be a fun thing, especially for all our players. Like everyone flew in for a game for 2 days, and it's so nice. I was like, they're flying 5 hours to come hang out with us and
take our money.
Yeah, well, there's some incentive. But.
The lodge stream team is doing such a good job. Like shout out to Matt Sweeney and the rest of those guys. It's really well run stream. Like I can't remember the last time I played on there and they had to like pause the action or like everything always runs super smooth. They've turned it into a well-oiled machine down there. So definitely try it out. Yeah,
I know I went down there for 2 stream games back when it was the old Blockbuster or whatever.
Yes.
And it's like my wife and I went to like a Round Rock Express baseball AAA game or AA game or whatever. But yeah, it was fun. I had a really good time. But granted, I think back then, or not, I think it was like in the middle of the poker room. They just had it roped off, but like, which is still fine. But like I went back and watched the content. It was still pretty good. And the announcers are good. Like the production's
Slick
good.
and Skull have been amazing from the beginning. Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of Texas poker. We should take it on the road. I do think it'll work out.
A little road trip? Do you want on the road?
Well, we know someone now.
We got an in.
We got
maybe
Texas.
You also know Doug Polk, so.
I mean, he talked to us. I was very distracted by his nipple most of the episode.
His nipple was, oh my gosh, that's right. I was just watching the clip before I came here. He gave y'all a little show.
I mean, it's a little chilly in here, and he came in just
how am I
glass.
Yeah.
Your PokerStars is sticking out.
Nipple sponsored by PokerStars.
Are you tired of playing with players like this? Not this.
No.
Like this? Or this?
Or do you want to play with players like this?
Oh, wait. If you like having fun at the poker table, Table 1 is the game for you. We play high stakes, no limit, 100 blinds. And if you want to get into the game, it's actually super easy. We have a website, table1.vegas. You just go to the website, you click get a seat in the game and fill out the form. It's that easy. It's your name, it's your phone number, it's the date that you're here, and I will personally reach out to you.
And it's only $5,000 minimum buy-in. Run it up at 2.5 and join us. So what did your parents think now that, whatever, you went from pursuing an acting career and now you come home, went through some hard times, and now you're just like, I'm just going to be a poker shill and organize games. Like,
it's so funny. People ask me this question all the time. Like, were your parents disappointed in poker? I quit asking them for money. So they were thrilled. Poker was, because I don't think I hardly made I don't know. I was hardly above the poverty line with what I was earning. I made $100 a show as a burlesque performer, Yeah. So I finally quit asking them for money. So I think they were more than thrilled that I was into the gambling industry.
So there wasn't any need to kind of show them your results or anything. It was just they were like, oh my God.
The results was that I wasn't calling them every day anymore, being like, how am I going to eat?
And also, you're going from titties out to the card room situation. It's like, all right, well, you're already in one kind of degen area of the world. You might as well, win at poker more.
My dad was always super thrilled I did poker. There was a small period there before I moved to Texas and had the later phase when I was playing in LA where my mom was like, you have to stop playing poker. I'm really worried you're going to get a gambling addiction. And there definitely was a small phase where my mom was not super thrilled about it.
What about your brother, since he was kind of one of the driving forces to kind of get you into the game initially?
What's funny, my brother and I have never been close, but I tell this story sometimes where I get a call from him out of the blue, and I always answer his calls because he calls me so infrequently. I'm like, oh my God, someone's dead, And I answered the phone and he's like, hey, I was playing golf today in Austin and I told this guy my name and he was like, oh, are you related to Caitlin? And he's like, what? And this guy like explained to my brother, like, yeah, she's on the streams all the time. She organizes cash games. She plays some of the biggest games in town. Like, you don't know who your sister is. And yeah, my brother called me up to tell me he thought that was cool.
That's awesome here. I like the little just or verification or just.
It was sweet. I was like, yeah.
So when did you start incorporating social media into like kind of your poker? Did it just kind of go hand in hand? Like you're organizing games, you're trying to get the word out there. So was this part of like an advertisement for your game or the room or something like that?
Definitely in the beginning. It was always a part of it. Like I've been posting online, like you can scroll back on my Instagram. I made it in like 2011 or 2012 or whatever after college. So I've always been posting. And I told you about like the early sketches I made. I had like this little, my version of the Daily Show I called Happy Talk, where I like would basically just do weekend update style jokes. And then when I started playing poker, I would do like TikTok lip sync videos, which I still do a fair amount of, but just like not super time invested in it. And then I did social media for the club I worked for, but it was after that club sold at the beginning of 2022 when I was like, okay, well, I'm not organizing cash games anymore for this club. Maybe I should take a run at the content thing and try to like fuse my old life with what I'm doing now. So I started out making long form vlogs actually, and you can still watch them. They're on my YouTube, Caitlin Texas Poker. They never blew up in views or anything, but the first one I made was when I got my first tournament score, which is to date my biggest tournament score. I finished second in a 500K guarantee at the lodge for 60K. Yeah. And I made a vlog about that experience. And then I think I ended up making like 8 long form vlogs. And then by that time it was October, the Jack 4 situation happened. And because it was October, I was like, oh, I can just like go out and buy these wigs and like Halloween Spirit is open. Like I have access. And yeah, I just very impulsively put together that first Jack 4 video, and luckily it hit, and that's why I'm still making sketches today.
Like when you say it hit, like how do things like that hit? Sorry, excuse, like for someone that honestly doesn't know, like Art handles all the social media side for me anyway. Like you just put it out there and just tell people about it, or like you just wake up one morning and it was like it went from like 8 views to like 8,000 views.
Yeah, that one took off right away. I think because it was everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. Like Joey was running those like, I don't know how long he was going.
Reports.
Yeah, these investigations for like 6 to 10 hours. It was like every day for a week. OnlyFriends was getting in on it. Like there was a real hunger for the story.
Could not talk about it at the
I remember seeing it, but like I just for some reason I thought it was
these
like,
algorithms are good, man. And people search up Jack 4 Hustler, and if her video is one of the videos that come up, this is pretty funny. I'm gonna share.
Well, I had a tiny bit of a following in poker, so actually before the Jack 4 hand happened, I had gotten an influx of followers from this one popular post I did. Where do you remember when Doug Polk got in trouble for body shaming the swimsuit Sports Illustrated swimsuit model?
I mean, I didn't see the episode, but I remember the story vaguely. That's about all I got.
So he like tweeted about like the size 18 swimsuit model, and he was like, I forget. He didn't say this is gross, but he's like, this is not beautiful. Like, what are we doing here? Like, this is whatever. And he got a lot of negative backlash for it, and it was like a very popular post. So I thought it would be funny because I was like around a size 16, 18 at the time. I've lost a little bit of weight since then, but I was a bigger girl at the time. So I was like, oh, I'll just like pose in my underwear. Because there was an overlay of the tournament that he was running that weekend. He was running like a 750K, and it was definitely going to and I was like, hey, y'all, like Doug Polk asked me to like he was looking for like a plus size micro influencer in Texas to help him bring attention to his games. And that's when like Joey Ingram followed me, and like a bunch of people in poker started following me from that post. And so I think that gave me a little leg up. So when the Jack 4 video came around, it was shared out.
Okay, so you already had a nice base, good foundation.
Yeah, and I had already been doing live streams. I was on the Lodge live stream and the Texas Card Hut, the local live streams a bunch. So I had like my foot in the door just a little bit so that the stage was set.
I do love most of your skits. The ideas.
Most of my skits are, God damn it. Yeah, which ones are the bad ones?
Do you hate? Come on.
I like your skits.
There we go.
Good save. She barely noticed.
Thank you.
One more backhanded compliment like that, and I'm going to join y'all in more.
I like how you just wear anything.
you guys want to see Caitlin in her underwear, you just got to scroll back a little bit.
I made a long form vlog about it. You can find it.
So somewhere along the way, you did the Ace Holes pod too with Nikki Limo, who has blown up since then. She is everywhere. I saw her. She's interviewing guys like Tosh. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's super cool.
I mean, you guys stopped making videos, what, a year ago? Something like that?
So first of all, she came into poker like already pretty big. She had already had 500,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, no
She was
shit.
one of like the OG YouTube creators. She came up with like Trisha Paytas and Grace Helberg and like a lot of these names. So she had an established audience. How I met her was Katie Lindsay introduced me to her. We went to my favorite restaurant in Vegas. Was that steakhouse? Herbs and Rye.
Herbs and Rye. It definitely sounds like your favorite.
Yeah, we went to
What is it?
for sure. Yeah.
What's the name again?
Where's my morning beer? I take it back. I need a morning beer. So yeah, it was the night before the first GPI Awards, and I was up for 2 awards that year. And I had tried to get a date, but I couldn't get. I had asked like 2 or 3 of my guy friends, and like nobody said they would go with me. So I was just gonna go stag to this award show. And Katie was like, "Oh, well, Nikki wants to go. Why don't you just take Nikki?" And I was like, "Okay." So Nikki was my date to the GPI Awards, and we were best friends immediately. We spoke in a shorthand. We both had a similar background, and it was just all riffs all the time. And at one point in the evening, she was like, "Would you ever be interested in like collaborating on a podcast?" And I just was like, "Yeah, 100%." And I don't know how serious she took me, but like 2 or 3 days after I got back to Texas, I called her up and I was like, "Hey, were you serious?" Like following up on that conversation, because I just knew immediately how brilliant and smart and funny and cool she is. And yeah, she's probably the best friend I've ever had. She's like a sister. And the Ace Holes adventure that we went on was incredible. We got to do commentary for Poker Night in America when they were in the Mansion House, when they experimented with the live shows, and got to interview so many cool people, do sketches together. She's a better producer than I am. We both write, we both perform, but she has had a lot more training and background in like actually making the video look good and figuring out what it takes to actually produce it. So she's taught me a lot about that. She's also brilliant with like understanding the algorithm and the hacking of all the different back channel stuff. And yeah, I don't have enough kind things to say about her. I think we both kind of hope that maybe eventually our paths will come back together. But we wanted to, work for the same people forever. But I got brought on to PokerStars. She got brought on to WPT. So right now we're just best friends instead of work collaborators. But hopefully sometime in the future we can either bring back Ace Holes or get to do more sketches together.
So what GPI awards were you nominated for? Like I think you've been nominated for 3, right? Like
9.
9?
Nominated.
That's so many more than I thought.
Yeah.
What, like the first year you got nominated, it was 2022?
It was, for 2022. Yeah.
What were the categories?
Rising Star in Content Creation and Best Video.
And the video in question was the
first one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you win?
I won Rising Star in Content Creation. Yeah. Beat Jesse Fullen, Lexi Gavin, and Natalie Bodie. Suck it. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow. You hate a lot of people.
Jesse Fullen, no. Jesse Fullen still brings it up all the time. He like tagged me on a Twitter post the other day because I beat him in trivia at the Run Good trivia here at NAPT.
Amazing. GPI. Shade. They don't even know who we are.
This is your year. Get your ballots in. Well, it's fun. It's an industry awards thing. So people forget, like after the nominations come out, people will have a lot of chirping and stuff to say about like who's up for what. But it's like they have a whole write-in ballot round where like if you actually care about the GPI awards, like make your voice heard. There aren't that many people writing in. Your voice can be heard. You the viewer can choose. Get my boys their trophy.
We fucked off. Damn it.
I thought they were just out on the internet scouring for talent. We have to actually go to them.
No, like
all right, guys, send in your ballots.
Yeah, so look out for it in like January and February. Eric Denis, follow Eric Denis if you're not following him. DANIS. He'll be like, "Hey, it's the write-in round," before they send out the ballots. And then there's like, I think they send out ballots to like 300 people to like vote on the long list to create the short list and then the second round. But yeah, in that first original round, like anybody can be like, "I think Table One Podcast should be Podcast of the Year." And if like 7 people do that, that's plenty to get on the ballot,
Wow.
One
of you guys started off.
Well,
whenever-
I just hope you just can edit that down to where she's like, I think Table One Podcast.
Yeah.
I think Table One Podcast
Caitlin
should win
Comeskey says we
GPI.
should be on there. No, we
Hey,
joked,
I'll vote for you. I'm gonna do my part.
we joked around about doing the Trey Parker Matt Stone thing where we just show up in like
Dress.
Yeah, just knowing we're not going to win or whatever, but just showing up and just like.
If you do that, can I show up in a tux and you can be on either arm? I would love to
Absolutely.
do that. Yes.
What
They were on like shrooms too,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Or
they were.
LSD.
Yeah.
we can
Yeah,
try that
well,
too, I guess.
Yeah, I think I'd be all right with that. I think one of them was wearing like the J-Lo dress. It was
One had the Gwyneth Paltrow pink.
yeah.
Yes.
But no, one day.
Yeah.
So when you got to get nominated for the GPIs, which is awesome, and then get to win, like did everything just start more blowing up for you a little bit, or they just kind of stay like on a steady like incline?
It was a steady rise. I definitely started to get more and more opportunities, people like having conversations, and that's how I got into tournaments really. Like I had 2 big scores my first year doing tournaments in 2022, but it became my full-time gig because as I got opportunities in content, the first opportunities I got were compensation in exchange for buy-ins.
Sure.
So that's sort of how you get your foot in the door as a content creator. You start having people be like, hey, you want to come to this series or you want to post about this, promo or whatever. And then you hopefully turn that into real money.
Well, we kind of need buy-ins now, so maybe
Yeah,
maybe we should
get
go
my
to,
voice on the ballot.
maybe
Enough about us.
Yeah.
Yes, we're poor. We get it. All right. So how did PokerStars come into the mix? That was 2023 that they signed you, or
2024.
24? Okay.
November 2024. This is like my 1-year anniversary here at
Okay.
NAPT was when they announced me. It was sort of like the thing you hear about but think never happens, where I just got like a random call out of the blue from Brian Ballsbaugh, who's now my manager at Poker Royalty. And he was just like, hey, PokerStars wants to sign you. I was like,
Prank call.
What?
Hang up.
what?
Prank call.
Are you joking? Are you absolutely kidding me? And that was the work Nikki and I did together. Like we very much were like, that's the end goal that we want.
Sure.
We want to work with a major brand. We want to get patched up. So it was the realization of something I had been working for like 2 years. And it was amazing. It was a dream come true. It still is.
Yeah, I mean, it's when I say incredibly harder, I don't think anyone that's kind of outside of poker realizes compared to 15 years ago how easy it was to get patched up. And like you could just be basically anybody. If you won a tournament one time anywhere, you're going to find yourself with a patch and an extra $5K in your pocket. These days, especially since Black Friday, it is almost impossible to get patched up. Like it's such a big deal. And like kudos. Like that's fucking awesome. Like,
No, and I feel guilty because, I know there are a lot of people that feel sore about like the current market where like content creators are the ones getting the patches as opposed to like poker pros and the real dogs. And a lot of the content creators, aren't that great of players. I'm the first to admit, it takes a lot of work and time to do content. So you can't be elite at the game at the same time.
that's the excuse you're using? Come on.
Yeah.
I don't have an excuse. I'm just curious what you use. All right.
I've cashed dozens of dollars this year, sir. How dare you?
Tacking onto his thing, kudos indeed. It is really hard. I love PokerStars. They did the right thing. Now they're coming back into America. Like this NAPT, the first one was amazing. Our friend Nick Marchington won that one.
Mhm.
Shout out to Nick. He plays at Table One sometimes and takes our money too. And did it finish yet this year? Or they got
No, they're down to 16 players right now. Like by the time this airs, it'll be done, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they've got the mystery bounty going on today is the
Yep.
last event, and then like some day 2s of like the seniors and stuff. But the NAPT is such like a world-class event. We've had comedy night with me, Joe Stapleton, Nikki performed. We have the trivia night. There's like free food and like beer and wine for a good portion of the week. They really take care of the player experience, and I'm really happy with how this year has gone, and all the major PokerStars events are just such a ball, and they really do give that value back to the player in terms of even if you show up and you don't cash a single event, you're going to create some memories and you're going to have a good time and connect with a lot of awesome people.
Yes, great event. I mean, when you walk in and you're just like, am I at PCA? Like,
I agree. I only played the one event over there so far this year. I played a handful last year. But either way, like having the curtains open and like is this kind of reminded me a little bit of like the Fontana Lounge back in the day. Like I know it kind of dates me a little bit, but like Bellagio used to have a tournament room that overlooked the fountains, and the fountains would go off every half hour, and it was great. Every break, everyone would just go outside and sit and watch or whatever. But it was such an open space, open aired room. And I kind of got the same feeling, like even to your point, like, feeling like it's like,
also they go all out, like you're going down the hall. They got the past champions. I mean, they make you feel, like you're welcome.
It is special. And like
cool.
the venue at Resorts World is really nice. I will say, like I know the casino itself hasn't got a ton of traffic, but man, they can host a poker tournament. That is lovely there.
Oh my gosh, it's beautiful. That's why I love working for PokerStars is they really care about the actual poker, the integrity of the game. Kenny Howlert works really hard to make sure the structures ensure that like may the best man win, like may the best player win. There's some repeated levels. Things go a little bit different than we're used to in America, and like the way that the structures play out. And they just really care about game integrity and player experience.
What do you think about the new push to like make start times earlier? There's been a bunch of like social media posts where people are like, we're all turning into old man coffees. We want to play at 10 a.m., not at 1 p.m.
There's part of me that's like, no, you're like absolutely right. We would all feel better if we woke up at 9 and went home at like 10 and we're in bed and got to see our family. Like everyone would be happier, but it's also sort of a sign of how like we're not getting younger people into poker. We need to grow more younger people into the game. That like the average poker player right now, like I would guess the average age is probably like 35, 40. Like it's not these young kids in college anymore. And I don't know if that's like a sign of the economy or whatever, but I do think part of the conversation, I'm just like, oh, these freaking losers. Okay, let's gather at 10 a.m. Oh, we'll meet at yoga first. Oh, that's awesome. Part of me just like has to roll my eyes at that. I'm like, bro, like, God.
It's supposed to
Doyle Brunson would never, Stu Unger would be like rolling it, whatever.
The outlaws have kind of left poker for the most part, kind of due to its popularity. But like, in addition, you're saying like, the younger people, like maybe it's not like catching on with them, but like the younger people that play now are the kind of guys that go to bed at 9 p.m. anyway. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade too hard on them, but they're the ones.
Just like, it's a sign that the game has changed, right? Yeah. That it's like the top people in the game are like these fitness freaks, like Jason Kuhn, that's like 2% body fat, has like, he was in his talk about, he was talking about how his like sleep score on his Apple Watch is like never lower than 95%. And that like you have to be like an Iron Man level athlete, rounded person to even stand a chance at some of these higher stakes games is crazy. And I love what y'all are doing. And I definitely think as an industry, we need to make it more accessible, because the average Joe is not going to look at like some of these fitness freaks and guys and be like, oh, I could, like, it's aspirational. Don't get me wrong. And like, that is what it takes. That is what it takes. But I think we need more, like John Daly types.
Yeah, there you go.
That are like,
thank you. That's a fair comparison. I was going to think of something way less complimentary. Yeah. But yeah, no, I swear back, 15, 20 years ago, you go to like a higher stake, like buy-in tournament, like there's just, alcohol flow and everything. Now you go, there's just like, not even bottles of water. It's just like, oh, this is a supplement package that my nutritionist put together for me. And oh, my alarm just went off. I need to have a protein bar. Shake. And like, yeah. And it's just like, wow. Renegades, like
no,
but like it is kind of the new renegade, and they're not wrong, because like inherently, like these high rollers are intelligent people, and intelligent people also do intelligent things in other parts of their life, and it just kind of correlates. Fortunately, I don't know.
No, and I love it. I watch every minute of it, and I'm a fan of all the different facets of poker. But when we're having like a broader discussion of like globally, like there's a place for Triton streams, there's a place for those high roller tournaments, and I am eating up every part of it. I love learning. I nerd out. Like I have a piece of that in me too, but I also have like the piece of me that like wants to be like slamming greyhounds and roasting everyone at the table, and like not like never be able to go like longer than like 5 minutes without anyone making eye contact or saying a word,
Yeah. Good old days. I don't know. I'm a dinosaur. Who knows?
Yeah, whatever. I
what do y'all think? Do you think we should be starting at 10? I know you're more cash players, but
so the answer for me is yes. But like I even when I used to, when I say stay up late, I wasn't productive or anything. It's not like I was going clubbing even. Like I would when I stayed up late, like I would still get up at like 9 or 10. I'd prefer to like play at 10. I don't know. It just the schedules at whatever. The Shooting Star just had one at Bay 101, and it was great. It started at 10 or 11 a.m. and you were just done by 8:39. You could actually go have dinner with your friends and go to bed by 11 o'clock and get 8 hours of sleep. It's way more conducive than me twiddling my thumbs for 3 hours waiting for the poker tournament to start, and then me being exhausted by the time I get home at 1 o'clock.
Not to mention the video poker and the beers beforehand.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm for early also, but like I wake up at 5:30 every single day. So
with the place that poker is right now, especially tournament MTT poker, like it makes sense. It's a no brainer, truly.
I hope they start doing a couple and
I know that it's a competing brand, but like I really hope WSOP takes it to heart as well. Like I know they've gone a little bit earlier here, but I would even like them to see go even an hour or two earlier. In all honesty, just keep Lake Ridge open long enough for anyone that wants to sleep in. They will sleep in and have another tournament starts at 2 o'clock. It's okay, which is what PokerStars does. It's great. You have like 4 different starting times, and so if you want to be a late riser, that's fine. You play the 6 o'clock tournament. Who cares?
No, I mean it's a bummer that like some of the most important decisions that we're making, we're doing at like 2 a.m. After like 12. That happened to me last night. I was in the women's high roller. I was the short stack on a final table, and I make like a big ICM error just because it's like 2 a.m. and I'm not like really playing like my best anymore. And I'm like, oh my God, did I just put 11 big blinds in the cutoff with ace 4 offsuit? What is wrong with me? And like, I'm walking away from the table being like, oh my, like I know better than that. What did I just do? But
Yeah.
Sorry for your pain.
Yeah, no, I hear it. Yeah, I was going to think of similar stuff or whatever, but like, yeah, usually I've had a few beers where I'm just like, it was a good play. Fuck it. Like this, it doesn't hit me till the next morning. You're like, oh, that was 19 blinds. That seems a little too much.
No, but that's the thing about tournament poker, right? It's like the blinds don't wake up with a hand. I'm a genius. But when the button has 2 kings, I'm like, whoa, no.
and I mean, not to mention when they, have the ace queen and you bink the 4. Somehow that memory doesn't quite make it to the next day.
There was an ace in the window, but there was a king right behind it.
Mother trucker.
Not like this.
So what'd you end up finishing? You said you...
Ninth.
Okay.
Yeah, those were my 2 cashes here at NAPT. I got 18th in the regular ladies and then 9th place in the high roller ladies.
So I read a little bit, but not all the way through. In all honesty, like you had kind of spoken out on happy with like women's events when they got some pushback of like it being non-inclusive, I guess, or whatnot.
No, honestly, Christina Baby Shark, she wrote an amazing article, and she's not the only woman I've had that conversation with, that like I'm having negative experiences at women's tournaments, or like I'm feel bullied or othered, or like these ladies are mean to me, or it's cliquey. Like that's feedback that comes around. But I just go back to my journey as a poker player when the very first 1K I ever played, the very first tournament I traveled to play, like my first big shot was the WSOP ladies event. I got to meet Kaina for the first time. I played with JJ Liu. I played with Maria Ho. Like it was an incredible part of my journey. And these events exist to foster those for women. And you're gonna more than likely be the only woman at the table just based on how the numbers are if you're playing an open event. So I think it is a good stepping stone and a bridge. And I've talked about this before, but more importantly, ladies events provides a networking opportunity because men have a much easier time just because of the numbers and the distribution of gender, like meeting people to travel with, share housing costs with, study with, join a Discord with, grow together. And women's events provides an opportunity for women not only to network, but then like I have 2 first places live and they're both women's events, like it creates an opportunity for you to get your name out there, to have a success and they are softer fields because they're fostering beginners. So it can also be success for that player, like where I am in my poker career, where you're like climbing the ranks, where you're not quite having those like large field success deep runs yet. And you can find some success in a ladies event. So I'm for them, but I don't want to like come out. I do understand ladies that don't like them because they had a negative experience, but I venture to say those ladies have had negative experience in open events too. And that they've had guys treat them like garbage and they've had guys harass them or be terrible. Like bad people are just going to be bad people.
Sure. Yeah. That's.
Yeah. And I agree. And like, I'm with you on that. Like, me, it's just an opportunity for. I know it's not the same thing, but equate it to like people that are intimidated to go play whatever blackjack or craps because they're scared they're going to make a mistake and they don't want to get yelled at by this person over here. And like, I'm not saying it's a safer space because, like, to your point, like, women could be mean too, but like they can actually go in with at least more confidence than they would in an open event. Whether it's because there's more beginners or not, fine, but like maybe because like you see yourself and other people around a little bit easier than looking at art all day. I don't know.
Both of the ladies events that we had here at NAPT, I would venture to say no one had a negative experience. I feel like all the tables were chatty and bubbly the whole time. There are a lot of us in the field that really care about everyone having fun. Like Kaina was just an absolute star yesterday. She was being so fun. She had everyone in stitches. And I do think they're mostly positive. There's more good than bad.
I know it was kind of a thing where guys would like try to get in these events and then they were like, oh, through whatever loophole, they're like, oh, fine. For women, it's $1,000. For men, it's $10,000 to try to weed out the jerks or whatever. Did the women's events you played, you see any of those types of people?
Yeah. So in New Jersey, they have discrimination laws. Mm-hmm. So I think almost every Borgata ladies event I've played at, there's a guy that enters. And one time when I was playing a women's event, he like got third. He podium finished and took $3,000 out of, the prize pool for the women. And that's a bummer. I think I heard a rumor that like his buddies put him up to it and paid him because they thought it would be funny. And, it's a bummer because you're taking money away from women. And these events exist so that women can have successes and build their bankroll. So you're being a jerk. Like, yeah, you can do it. Yeah, no one can stop you, especially when the laws are in play. And then the thing that happened down in Florida with Santa Claus was a bummer. He ended up winning the event because there became a lot of hype around it and people put a bounty on him and the bounty got so big that it was like bigger than final table money almost. And so that kind of, had a reverse effect. I know, it was kind of a reverse effect.
Yeah. I don't know that story. The Santa Claus.
Yeah. That was a
well, tell us the story. Yeah.
So this guy who, had a bushy white beard, entered an event. I don't know the venue, but it was in Florida, maybe the Hard Rock. And he entered the ladies event and it became like Ebony started posting about it on Twitter. So it got a little bit of heat and people were talking about it. And then people on Twitter were like, oh, I donate to the bounty. And like there was some like fun and excitement around it. But then it just like he ended up winning the tournament. So that sucks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, don't do that, guys.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, I can't stop people from being a jerk, but it's jerky.
To me, it's just like, there's so many poker tournaments. Like, just like, whatever. I'm upset I can't play the seniors today, but you know what? I'm not going to go like put on makeup or anything and then like try to sneak in. I don't think I'd have to, but, but anyway, yeah, I just don't get it. Like, I think it'd be different if like there was a stop that had like 4 tournaments and 2 of them, like you couldn't play. You weren't allowed to because you were aged out or like, not the wrong gender or whatever. But like every stop has like 50 events. Like you can miss one. It's not a big deal.
I will say, I think the one silver lining good thing about the Santa Claus story was that I haven't played at Borgata, which is where I saw it most commonly in a minute. So I don't know if it's still happening there, but I haven't seen a man attempt to enter a ladies event, I think in all of 2025.
That's good.
Knock on wood. So hopefully maybe that was a story that, he looked like such a jerk and the community response was such that people will be shamed out of it in the future.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. So let's talk about future Caitlin. Let's see what's on the horizon here. Like we're finishing up 2025 now. Where are you going from here?
I'm going back to New Jersey to stream. So like a great thing about my relationship with PokerStars is that I get to do a lot of different things. So I'm going to be doing commentary on the final table. I get to create my short form content like I always have been. And then I get to stream live on Twitch on their platform. PokerStars is still legal in New Jersey, Michigan, and Pennsylvania. And I stream in New Jersey, just outside New York City. My screen name's Caitlin Texas Poker. And I stream a lot of the major events that are happening. And then I also started integrating mixed games because I wanted more tables to play. So you can watch me stream mixed games.
What's your least favorite and most favorite mixed game you've learned?
It changes every day. I really like Raz, but I also hate Raz because it's like what I'm learning about Raz
is very hateable.
Yeah, because you take such big swings because I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. You know much better than I am, but like from what I've learned, you have to call pretty wide, and the equities can run so close together with how the board is looking. So it can be like it can feel like PLO to a certain extent, where it's like
she's exactly right. Like it's tough because like someone's always going to be ahead, or at least produce or like face up supposed to be ahead. So they have to bet, and like your equity, to your point, is always like within like 5 to 10%. So you're just always getting pot odds. So like it's not like even like stud where like it's going to go check on 4th and 5th sometimes or whatever, sometimes 6th. Like with Raz, it's just like there has to be a bet. Someone's always going to bet, and someone always has to call. And it sucks because it's just so many streets of stuff. Like
plus it's a scoop game, so there's like like makes it swing huge too,
like
right?
like deuce to 7, like triple draw is kind of similar in the same respect as well, where like it's just like if you're taking control of the pot, you have to bet, and like you're always having to call like behind or whatever. There's very few like, on the second draw I'm just giving up. Like people just don't do that. For stud, like the boards can get so funky where it's just like, all right, check seems fine here, or like I get to fold 4, thank God, it's fine. But no, I agree. Raz is fun, but at the same point, it plays, I would say, a time and a half bigger than just about every other game, and it can dictate way too much, especially in tournaments, like like on who does well. And coin flips. All right, so what's your most favorite? Like, do you get into like the Badussi, Archie, like some of the sillier games?
I'd say I know the 9-game mix. That's what I feel comfortable playing or putting money up for now. Deuce 7 single draw, I think, is just like the purest form of the game. That was the first mix I learned back when I was just playing No Limit Hold'em. I was trying to get into a No Limit game, and the game runner also ran a Deuce 7 game. So I started playing that, and I think I just have the most volume and experience with that game. It's hurt my triple draw game a little bit. I'm having to learn the difference, because there was a time where like on the first draw, I'm like padding a 97 or whatever. And they're like, no, sweetie.
That's really good. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Deuce 7 is sick. It's a fun game. I'm terrible at it,
what
but
are
I
your
love
favorite and least favorite of them?
Stud 8 or better is my favorite mixed game. It's just a beautiful game. And like, I don't know why it clicks with me above like all the other ones, but I can just see people's boards a little bit better than, I'm not even claiming to be a really good mixed game player, because I'm not, but like I know where I am like very strongly there, where like all the other games I'm just kind of guessing a little bit, and I was like, I hope I'm good. Paul, I'm
falling in love with Big O. I watched Alex Livingston has some free content available that he did for poker coaching, and I watched him talk about Big O, and I think it's really interesting when there's a raise and a re-raise and you're in the blind with like a 10-10 Jack 9 or whatever, then all of a sudden that becomes like a playable hand. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you become an equity favorite. So finding those like differences in spots, I'm really enjoying.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Big O. I like it.
Yeah.
What about you, Art? You like Cucuruchu?
Maybe I should start learning mixed
Do you know Cucuruchu, by the way?
Yeah.
Art has a great video. But no, Cucuruchu is how we do like our time and tip every half hour. We basically do like a double board PLO, but it's just pot or fold, nothing else.
Oh,
yeah. And but one bet though, and then showdown after the flop.
Oh my gosh, I missed the day. So when I was like doing the best in the cash games in Texas, and like my first couple of years was when double board bomb pots PLO made it to our 1-3 and 2-5 games in the clubs in Texas, and no one knew how to play them, and it was just like sit back, wait for the nuts and print. Oh, it was so fun. I miss it.
I agree. It's and mainly because, to your point, like no one knows how to play it, and like it's kind of fun. Like everyone feels a certain kind of way about Hold'em these days, especially tournament Hold'em, where like everything's kind of mapped out, or like your decisions.
Good. It's so annoying. That's a huge reason why I started playing mixed games. Everyone's so good. Back to the conversation of just everyone being so solid and fit and healthy and oh gosh, like doesn't anybody hate themselves anymore? Like
just come here to torch.
Just me? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Just every morning.
Nobody else punishing themselves with poker right now? Okay.
I was telling Art last night, I had a bad cash game session, and I went to the bar, texted my wife, or called my wife. I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to dinner. We're supposed to go to dinner. But please don't join. Like I need some time. And like I was there for a couple hours, and I ordered 5 guys. I ordered a milkshake, and I drank way too much alcohol at the bar. And as soon as the 5 guys got delivered, I went home, and I was like, I'm in a good mood. I'm fine. And I just destroyed everything. And it's all like self-hatred or trying to like mask whatever feelings I had at the time or whatever. But yeah, I woke up at 2:00 and I'm like, I hate myself again. This was a bad idea.
just covered in milkshake.
Dude, it wasn't quite that bad, but like I literally woke up at 2 and I went out and there's just like, trash from the Five Guys. My milkshake thing is like right there. And I'm just like, oh my God, I might throw up. And like just stumbling around my house for 45 minutes until like my dog snuggled with me, which helped. But like, yeah, just hating myself. I was like, why do you do this to yourself? And I was like, oh yeah, because this still feels better than the way I felt at 7:00 last night.
After I busted the event last night, and I know I have to be here at 10 a.m. By the way, sorry it was late. I was in such a haze. I like ordered an Uber to Aria, and I pulled up the Poker Go studio, and I'm like, oh, I guess this is where they shoot it. And I like pull out the door and it's locked, and then I double check the messages from y'all, and I'm like, I'm a fucking idiot. But anyway, there was this like turning point last night where I get back to my room and I'm like super tilted from busted, super frustrating, especially because I eliminated myself. And I'm like, I could just stay up all night and slam Greyhounds and lose like a cool grand at UTH. I could just give the money back immediately. Wouldn't that feel amazing? And then I just show up in yesterday's makeup and outfit and do the podcast. That would be kind of punk rock and cool of me, right? But I washed my makeup off and went to bed.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have friends like Jason Kuhn and stuff that are probably on your left shoulder telling you, like, no, just go to bed.
No, I mean, I'm roasting his archetype a little bit, but Jason's one of like the nicest, coolest people. He did this fireside chat, and one of the coolest things he said was, he was like, if I am gone for longer than a week now, my family's coming with me. And that he like builds that into his budget and finances, that he prioritizes being a family guy. So Jason Kuhn, he's our idol for a reason. He deserves it.
And I agree. He was one of the first people that actually reached out and wanted to be friends with me, like back in the day or whatever. And like invited me out to like dinner and stuff like that on, I think, 2009 and 8 and stuff. Either way, love Jason Kuhn. But that being said, there needs to be more self-hatred in poker. Everyone seems to be way too happy even after they bust, because they can just be like, well, according to the chart, I'm supposed to do it 38% of the time, so that's fine.
You have to, it's really neutral information. Yeah. I mean, you can't be attached to the results. You have to be completely detached from the results. But I'm not. So cool story.
Yeah, I'm really only doing this because of the results.
Honestly, like, I don't think I would have gotten into poker if I would have, and whatever, it's evolved like 18 different times since I've got into poker or whatever, but the allure, the sex appeal of poker is almost gone, unfortunately. If, at least in like tournament like poker or whatever, there's no more bad boys of poker anymore. I mean, like, Helmuth's still around, but like
when
Helmuth is our bad boy.
Yeah, I mean, like now we have Kasuf and Cabral. Like, it's a different kind of bad boy. Like,
and they're never drunk, and they're like playing pretty solid. They're just being obnoxious.
Right. They're just assholes. They're not gunslingers, like, they're not going to the strip club after they make day 5 of the tournament or something.
I guess Mizrahi just won the main event.
Shut up. I didn't
hell
think
yeah,
that was...
hell yeah, the grinder. We got to pour one out and give our due respect.
We do love the grinder.
I heard he spent like all night at the strip club, like before every day. The deeper he ran, the longer he stayed there, I think, is what happened.
That's the American dream. That's the poker I want.
Exactly right. And like, I'm so happy he won, not just the PPC, but like obviously the main, but like, I like how that style of poker still wins. And like,
hell yeah.
Man, that's...
we gotta have faith. We gotta have faith. There are more guys.
Get through these tough times. Crypto, go back up.
You might have just talked me into playing poker today. Oh, man, I feel good.
It's just so annoying that the people that take care of themselves and work hard are the ones that do the best.
Yeah, if I wanted to work hard and do good, I would have got a job. Come on,
gambling.
Guys.
Where's the justice?
We say it every episode. Fuck Jeremy Osmus,
Yeah. Although Kuhn is moving up the rankings.
No.
Come on.
The thing is, I like both of them so much. It's so hard to...
That's the thing, is they're all such nice, amazing,
they really are.
caring guys.
Oh, yeah. All right. Where can people follow Caitlin Comeskey on the internet?
Absolutely. Find me on Twitter at Caitlin Comeskey. Find me on Twitch at Caitlin Texas Poker. I live stream there when I'm in New Jersey, like 3 to 5 days a week. I also simulcast to YouTube. YouTube and TikTok have been really mean to me lately. They've marked me as like, gambler girl. So I'm having to figure out how to fix that on those platforms. But you can also find me on Instagram. I am going to make these guys do a trending TikTok that y'all can watch today.
Is it dancing?
Yes, dancing. I'm going to make y'all. It's really easy.
I just got nervous again.
Too bad. You agreed to it and I paid for my own Uber. So you're doing the TikTok.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I'm in for that. That's it could be fun.
All right, guys, follow her everywhere and check out some of the NAPT stops. And if you live in those 3 states, hop on PokerStars. There
Thanks for having me, guys. This
All
is
right,
a blast.
that's the pod.
Me and my buddy, we may get all of this money. Yeah, I know it's rude to be bragging. They never